All right, we're going to call to order the meeting for the Planning and Zoning Commission as of April 11th, 2023. We stand real quick for the invocation and pledge of allegiance, please. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, Lord God. Thank you for everything you do for us, Lord. Please bless our city. Please bless us as we do the work of the citizens tonight. Lord, in Jesus' name we pray, amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Chair Lumnick.
Here.
Member Mellon is absent. Member Williams is absent. Member Forges is absent. Member Crocker.
Here.
Member Keller.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right. I'd like to welcome our new member, Joe Crocker. Congratulations for making the board. You want to say something real quick?
No.
All right. I love it. All right, we're going to go to the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the Planning and Zoning meeting of February 14th?
I will make that motion.
All right, can I get a second?
I'll second.
Perfect. All those in favor, please hit your yes button or no button.
Can I actually vote on this since I wasn't here?
Yeah, you can vote. Go ahead.
Oh,
All right.
okay. I didn't have it set up correctly. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
All
We're going
in
to do it
favor?
again. Yes or no?
Oh, well, hang on a minute. I have to reset it. Let's just do a vote.
All right. All those in
Roll call.
favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Carries. All right. We have, let the record show Lou Forges is present. All right. We have no old business, new business. It's going to be the Siri office building, Market Street Row. This is going to be for two cases, an annexation and a rezoning to PUD AX 032303 and RZ 230303. Zoning Manager Whitfield.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everybody. This is the Siri office building, Market Street and Arlington Avenue, vacated right-of-way, annexation and rezoning. Currently, it's Orange County. The county vacated the right-of-way early in February, and this rezoning will be an assignment of the city's PUD, Planned Unit Development Zoning classification, to that vacated right-of-way. So the subject property is about 0.37 acres in size. It's on the south side of Old Winter Garden Road, about 276 feet east of Hempel Avenue. The hash area there is the right-of-way location. The property is eligible for annexation because it meets the requirements of statutes and our JPA with the county in terms of its adjacency to existing city boundaries. It's eligible for city services, and it's a reduction on the city's existing enclaves. For the benefit of those here, an enclave is county designated lands that are inside the jurisdictional boundaries of the city, but is still under control for purposes of land use and permitting of the county until it actually annexes into the city. In that regard, it's consistent with the JPA future land use map, which designates the bigger parcel professional office and the right-of-way area professional office. This is an aerial of the property, 2022 aerial. The surrounding zoning districts, so you see the dark brown, this is city property, so the road right-of-way by state statute, it's considered contiguous. This is the surrounding future land use. The pink designates it as a professional office. This application is only to annex in the right-of-way. There are no new changes or proposed developments to the main property, which is addressed at 3872 Old Winter Garden Road. The property parcel ID for the right-of-way has been assigned and has been merged with the existing property. You can't see my mouse. So this parcel is 3872. That parcel ID stays the same. With the vacation by Orange County on February 7th of 2023, this Market Street right-of-way is here, the Arlington Avenue right-of-way is here, and that right-of-way area is .37 acres, has been aggregated, in other words, combined with the other parcel that has the building footprint on it, and assigned the same parcel ID number. I want to add to this site plan that you see was approved by the City Commission in 2019 originally at 33,000 square feet. In 2022, it was reduced to 28,000 square feet. The change was moving there is a transformer power line here that can't be moved. The original land use plan had the driveway here, but it could not be accommodated, so they moved the driveway westward, so that it's now sitting underneath the building. Because of that change, it led to the result of the building square footage and accompanying reduction in the number of parking spaces. From the 2019 plan, I don't know why the mouse keeps disappearing. The original building was like an L shape where the building extended all the way to here. It looked kind of like that. And so with the 2022 plan, it dropped it back. So the footprint of the building on the south side is actually further away from the residential lots on the south than previously approved in 2019. So with that, the DRC met on April 5th and recommended approval with no conditions. And staff is also recommending approval of the annexation into the city and the assignment of that vacated right-of-way to the PUD zoning classification, specifically the Siri office building land use plan for the property at 3872 Old Winter Garden Road. And I don't know if the applicant is here. Yep, he's there. I'm sorry?
She could not make it, I'm here on her behalf.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Chairman, that concludes my presentation.
Great, thank you. Great, thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions for staff? This one seems pretty easy.
I have one.
No, sir, excuse me. One minute. Does anybody on the dais have any questions for staff? Okay. This is the application's present. Do you want to stand up and speak, sir? Great. All right, we're going to open this up to the public. Did you have a comment, sir?
Yes, can you zone back to the picture there that showed the picture in orange?
You have
You
to-
gotta go up to the,
Oh,
like,
Gotcha.
podium. I thought everybody could hear me. I get complaints all the time, I talk too loud. Yeah, on this, picture here, evidently y'all changed that from back in, you said 22?
Gotcha.
They changed the building footprint? Is that correct?
Sorry, sir, can you please give us your name and address, please?
My name is Elmer Carrier. I'm at 3885 Shadow Wind Way. I live right behind that property.
Okay, we'll listen to your comments. Go ahead.
Okay, on this thing here in the, call that a beige, looks like you've changed the footprint of the building back in 22, is that correct?
Yes.
That was, and we voted on a different, I didn't see a notification on that. Did y'all notify the community that that building footprint was changing?
It was a non-substantial change determined by the DRC. So non-substantial changes go to the City Commission on their consent agenda item. The reason why it's a non-substantial change is that they decrease the square footage of the building, they decrease the number of parking spaces, and they've shifted the building further away from the residential lots.
Sure, I see that. Well, that's an advantage to us. On that beige area down there at the bottom, that area that doesn't have any lines in it, that's a setback from our property line?
Yes, so right here is
Yes.
still maintaining the 10-foot landscape buffer.
Now, when they changed that, they still protected the trees, right? Was originally on the original request that the trees were supposed to be taken down? Is that still true?
So if there were any trees in the center of the property, those would be, I guess, removed as part of construction.
I don't think they can be. If you look at the original thing back in 19,
Yeah.
This
Sir,
was,
I'm sorry, I'm going to stop everybody there. If you have comments, we'll take your comments, but if you have questions for staff,
okay.
if you'll just bring those after the,
Well, my comment is this. In 19, we had a certain agreement on this property with the homeowners in Orange County when we annexed that into Orange County, that those trees were being protected. And my comment is, now that this shows that they're not being protected.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, does anybody else in the, want to have any comments on this in the audience? All right, we're going to close the public hearing, bring it back up to the dais. Does anybody else have any questions for staff? If not, I'll take a motion on the annexation.
I'll make a motion that we approve the annexation AX 032303.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a recommendation for approval on annexation and by Member Keller and a second by Member Forges. We're going to vote tonight using the yes or no buttons. Are we good, Kathy? Okay. Go ahead and make your vote, please. Carries. All right, now I need a I need a motion on the rezoning, please.
Mr. Chair, I make recommendation to approve RZ 230303.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a recommendation for approval on the rezoning by Member Forges and a second by Member Keller. If you go ahead and again use the yes or no's. That passes as well. Okay. Yeah, sir, if you'll just ask staff, they'll let you know about what that stuff is. Okay, that's done. Number 2, 608 East Silver Star has been rescheduled. So now we're going to move to number 3, which is Heartland Dental at Colonial Drive, preventative and comprehensive dentistry. This is a sign variance, VR 2301, zoning manager Whitfield.
Heartland Dental, Colonial Drive, preventive and comprehensive dentistry, sign variance. So the variance request is for a variance to section 8-6A, subsections 1 and 2, in Article 8 of the sign code for the dental office building that's located at 1110 Blackwood Avenue. The applicant's seeking 2 variances. The first one is it's a sign height variance of 6 feet in lieu of 3 feet. This represents a 100.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't mean to be rude, but if you could please take your comments outside or just wait till the hearing's over. It's being distractive. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So it's a 6-foot height sign in lieu of a 3-foot height sign, representing a 100% increase in sign height. For the west elevation, it's the round sign. And then the second variance is for a 70 square foot copy area sign in lieu of the 36 maximum. That represents a 94% increase in the sign size. And that is for the north elevation. Both of these are wall signs. So the property is located in the southeast corner of Blackwood Avenue and Montgomery Avenue. The lot that you see that is in the location map is 1.96 acres in size. The limits of work for this dental office building is 1.15 acres in size. The site is currently under construction. This is an aerial. Again, this is early 2022, so it doesn't show the construction just yet. The surrounding zoning is PUD. It's part of the Ocoee Commons PUD. Surrounding future land use is all commercial. For variances, 4 criteria need to be met, and those criteria are outlined in section 4-9, subsection A of the code, which basically requires that the applicant demonstrates that there are specific or special conditions or circumstances that are specific or peculiar to that property or that structure or any subdivision requirements. Those peculiarities have to be in addition to, and it's not like that in other properties. The second criteria is that if we were to apply the code requirements literally, it would deprive the applicant the ability to enjoy rights that are enjoyed by other properties with similar conditions. The third criteria is that the circumstances for the variance are not the result of the applicant. And then the last one is that the city's granting of the variance doesn't confer any special privileges to that applicant or that property that has been or otherwise been denied by these regulations to other properties with similar conditions, and that no pre-existing conditions exist. So this is a site plan of the location. The building is partial site plan. So if I put the entire thing, it would be too small to see. So the first sign, here's my mouse. Sign A is the wall sign that's facing north. This is Montgomery Avenue here and Blackwood Avenue running north-south on this side. So the 94% sign increase is to sign A for the copy area. And then the 100% increase is to sign F, which is a 28.26 square foot copy area. It's a round sign. This is a drawing of the sign. They're proposing it to be 4 feet 8 inches tall, 15 feet wide. This is the west sign, 6 feet tall by 6 feet wide. The area of a circle, 28.26. In terms of staff's review, because of the innovative architectural design of the building, the height of where this 100% increase in height sign area is, staff is supportive of the sign height, because overall it still stays under the 36 square foot copy area maximum. And it matches the elevation of the building. On this one, however, although it's still above the 3 feet max, our biggest issue is that it's 15 feet long and 70 square feet instead of 36, which is 32 square feet more than what's allowed by code. Given that it's only a less than a 6,000 square foot building, it's at a corner it's a corner location right next to a planned roundabout. So the roundabout in and of itself will work to slow down traffic. The other consideration that staff had was that this location has already been approved a monument sign that meets the sign copy area requirements with the same number of letters that is being proposed and requested in the wall sign. This is you can see at the top, this is the stamped permit from the sign, the monument sign. It's 12 feet tall, which meets our maximum sign height, and then a copy area of 36 square feet. When this monument sign permit first came in, it was much larger. I believe it was like 72 square feet copy area, and staff rejected that sign permit, and they scaled it back down to 36. Again, this sign copy area, from what some renderings that I've seen, has the CD logo as well as the entire words, all the letters of the monument sign, the wall sign that they're asking for now. In terms of some of the arguments that the applicant made, site distance safety, travel safety of motorists traveling on Montgomery Avenue, and the ability to see the business sign and the establishment, I drew a distance measurement. When a driver is exiting this roundabout, that starts the red line. From this point to the entrance where the driver needs to decide whether or not they want to enter into the left turn lane, that is just under 800 feet. The distance from exiting this roundabout, navigating this slight curve on Montgomery Avenue all the way to the Blackwood Avenue intersection is about 950 feet. That's less than a quarter mile from roundabout to intersection. Again, this is going to be another roundabout that the city is undertaking with DOT, so that in itself will act to slow down traffic. Also, the posted speed on Montgomery is only 25 miles per hour. The building is set back 72 feet because the applicant wanted to provide 17 additional parking spaces above the minimum of 35. So the building was set back 72 feet instead of the required 35 feet. Lastly, the monument sign originally was shown and approved here. We recently received an application for a site plan modification where this sign, monument sign location interferes with utilities. So now this monument sign is being proposed to be located in this location, and that's what is shown here. This is the new location of the monument sign. It meets the 10-foot requirement from the right-of-way, but it's right there at the center. So there's absolutely no need to have 94% increase in sign size when there's a monument sign there and the wall sign. So with that, staff finds that there are no special conditions or circumstances peculiar to the site. The site is greater than 1 acre, which is the minimum size required for all of our office and commercial land use zoning districts. A literal interpretation would not deprive the applicant the ability to sign the property and other rights commonly enjoyed by property owners. Granting the variance would confer special privileges that have been denied to other landowners by these regulations, and the circumstances of the variance are the results of the actions of the applicant because the tenant wants a bigger sign. With that, staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommends approval for the round west elevation sign to go to a 6 by 6 foot height, still staying under the 36 square foot minimum, but recommend a denial for the 70 square foot sign that is a 94% increase on the north elevation for the dental office building located at 1110 Blackwood Avenue. And I believe a representative of the sign company is here, Mr. Chairman, and that concludes my presentation.
All right, thank you very much. Does anybody on the dais have any questions for staff?
Yeah, can you put, this is kind of loud today. The design you had on the building for the round sign, yeah, this one right there. Okay, is this one facing Blackwood or?
Yes, facing
Okay.
Blackwood.
Okay. All right, that's all.
Any other questions for staff? All right, if the applicant's present, would you like to come up?
Mr. Chair, the applicant has provided copies, but not enough for everyone on the dais.
Okay. It's all good. Yeah, if you'd like to come up and make comments. When you get up there, if you'll please give us your name and address, please.
Good evening, all. My name is Keyshawn Greaves. My address is 1720 Bonita Bluff Court, Ruskin, Florida, 33570. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you guys have any questions for me exactly, or would I be?
Your choice.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I just have two comments. I believe that no special privilege is conferred. Approval of this requested variance will not confer on the tenant as a special privilege that is denied to other buildings with the irregular lot shapes or in a PD zoning district. So, looking at this, I mean, even if we increased it to 70 feet, as you can see the size of that building, it would not be a detriment to other businesses because of how it's designed. It would blend in with the material, just similar to that sign behind you, how it would blend in with the existing facade. I don't believe that it would be a hindrance to anyone else.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you very much. All right. At this point, we're going to open up the public hearing. Is there anybody here who'd like to speak on this item? I do have 3 applications for comments. First is going to be, is that you, Keyshawn Greaves? Okay, great. Then we have one more, Barb Simon, please. Just state your name and address for the record.
Barb Simon, 1339 Cornerstone Court, Orlando. I'm here because I currently represent somebody who has a business in the area, and we all had to file the same situation, same signage, And to let someone else come in now and put a bigger sign when we were restricted, we all have the same concerns. We like more space, we like to be able to be seen. And that's gonna open it up for us now to go and change our signage. We're on Blackwood, and, you know, we have a small sign out front. We met the guidelines. We have a small sign on our building. So this is a much bigger building, I guess, but the signage, I mean, it's gotta be fair to everybody, and it's gonna open it up for other people to now change the signs. And we're supposed to be uniform and all follow the rules and the guidelines.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else in the public like to speak on this matter? You just bring your form up there. State your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Tommy Dorsey. My address is 10169 West Colonial Drive in Ocoee, 34761. I am the current dentist at Colonial Drive Family Dentistry who's proposing the sign variance. I've been practicing in Ocoee for 16 years now and driving on Montgomery and Blackwood every morning and every evening. And when I decided that we would move our practice to this particular lot, I had no idea we'd be set so far back off of Montgomery. And right now, if you drive up Montgomery, what happens is trees block the front of the building, and it's actually more of a hazard to try to see the signage on the building when it's that small. I've stopped multiple days to try to see if we could shrink the sign some to get visibility on Montgomery, and I just haven't been able to piece it together. I'm not an architect, so that is why I propose that we have a slightly larger sign to keep traffic flowing, for one, and to prevent any mishaps with cars coming up Montgomery trying to see a smaller sign and read it. Hopefully, it will not impact the other businesses in our area, but we are a staple in the community and simply growing at leaps and bounds.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? All right, at this point, we're gonna close the public hearing and bring it back up to the dais. I mean, my opinion on this is, every other time there's been a sign variance, we've denied them pretty handedly. So that's what I would say, but, anybody else on the dais have any other questions?
I do, for the applicant, representative. What is the typical standard size for this particular franchise?
I'm sorry. You gotta come back up and I need to open the public hearing back up again.
Oh, you asked.
Oh, that's all good.
I have questions.
Good evening, Keyshawn Greaves. Well, you guys know my info. To answer your question, sir, that actually is the standard size for all the Heartland Dentals throughout Florida. Most of those buildings that Heartland Dentals does purchase are larger buildings, and that is actually the generic size that we've installed all over the East Coast. So, I mean,
The
it's
70?
probably, sir,
The 70 by,
correct.
okay.
We have one in St. Johns County that we just did about a month and a half ago, and it's that exact same size with the exact same specs. Only thing that changed was the name.
Okay, that's all.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we're gonna close the public hearing again. All right. Any other questions? I would say, we would need a motion. This is gonna be for one variance, but, I would ask if the person, whoever makes the motion, would be so inclined to use staff recommendations and use the verbiage that they've put on the, on our notes here. If, yeah, like I said, if that's how you'd like to do it.
It's on the screen as well.
You know, I do like the idea of keeping things uniforms and the way we've always done things. Me personally, I don't have any problem with this, with the first one, the one that staff recommends for approval. It's just more like a logo. There's nothing to read. You look at it and you keep going. So I'd make a recommendation for approval based on staff recommendation without having all this language stuff.
Is your Motion then to approve.
To approve staff recommendation for this sign and deny the 98% increase that you want with the legible, with the other sign.
So you're recommending approval of the variance request to section 86A1 and 2, Article 8 of the west elevation wall sign and allow the 28.26 square foot sign at the height of 6 feet in lieu of 3 feet, representing 100% height increase, and you're denying you're making a request to deny the variance request to section 86A1 and 2, Article 8 of the north elevation wall sign and not allow the sign size of 70 square feet in lieu of 36 square feet, representing a 94 increase sign size for the north elevation wall sign?
That's correct.
Do I have a second?
I'll second
And so, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
if I may make a recommendation, if the only reason that someone should vote yes on this motion is if they agree with both pieces.
Correct.
Oh.
If you wanted to deny it entirely, then you should vote no. If you want to approve it, as he said, you should vote, or if you wanted to approve it entirely, you could vote no. In
Well,
other
it-
words, the only way to vote yes on this motion would be if you are voting to approve
Both.
one and deny the second. Did that's what you wanted to do,
You said
correct?
for staff's report.
Correct.
Yeah.
Approve one, deny the other.
Correct. So unless you're voting, a yes vote means you're doing both. If you don't want to do it exactly as you said, you should vote no, is what I'm trying to clarify.
I'm sorry, now you've got me.
I'm confused.
Okay.
He's making a recommendation.
For approval of, let's call it number 1, and denial of number 2.
Correct.
Correct.
If anyone wanted to approve 1 and 2, they should vote no, because the motion,
Oh, I understand.
you see?
Yes.
It really should be two
Yeah, you probably
separate
was.
variance
Should have been two
requests.
variances.
it. Are you recommending
Right.
that you break it into two?
Well, it's one request now, so the way it's been advertised, we have to vote this way. But I'm saying either you vote entirely, as Mr. Forges has said. If you want to vote in agreement with him, you vote yes. If you disagree with either part of that, you vote no.
Right.
And then we can
Okay.
figure out what to do next.
So a yes vote is to go off of staff's recommendations?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we have a motion for recommendation of staff's recommendations by member Forges, and we have a second by member Crocker. Great. Let's use our yes, no buttons here. All right, it passed, so we're good on that, right?
Yes,
Okay.
assuming that's how everyone wanted to vote.
Jeez Louise. Okay, thank you very much. All right. Next up is miscellaneous project status report, Mike Rumor.
Yes, first bit of business is, I want to bring to your attention that the runoff election, or the election to fill District 4, special election, that's the word, is going to be held on June 13th, which is a P and Z date. What we're going to request to the City Commission is to approve us having an alternate date for June for P and Z, and also July, because if there's a need under the special election to have a runoff election, it would be held on the P and Z date in July. So we're going to seek to have June and July to have a separate date, but we're not going to specify the date. There's a lot going on. We will duly call it ahead of time. We will get with each member to see, probably be the last week. Generally, that's when it is. But if it's a Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday, we will poll you all in plenty of time to advertise. So just want to bring that to your attention. Then just a recognition that, welcome the new member, Joe Crocker. And in June, we have 3 members up. Their term is up. And then after that is taken care of by the City Commission, Attorney Robin Drage will hold a full sunshine law, yes, which would be earlier than the stated 6:30 meeting, probably an hour before or something like that. Just think of that ahead.
And to clarify, that would be in July, prior to.
In July,
July
after
meeting.
the, yes, hopefully we can have everything settled for that. Otherwise, looking at the landscape within the city of Ocoee, we were able to get the roundabout open at Fuller's Cross Road and Lakewood Avenue. The next step, and it's going to be the next step for a while, but they will be paving up to Second Avenue, which is a new east-west road which will be connecting to the Second Avenue that it connects with Adair Street. And that'll be opened next, so you will be able to go up through the roundabout, up a good ways, just short of Claricona Ocoee, take a right on Second, and go to I can't remember what the first road is, but the second road is Adair. The holdup to tie it into Claricona Ocoee is mast arm, signalization, moving electric, and pedestrian crossings across Claricona Ocoee. That's all being put in place, but that's just going to be the next step you see up there. We have we're finishing up the last of the commercial out at the Inspiration Plan Unit Development off Tomlin Boulevard. It looks beautiful. Rustique is open if you've been out there. Really nice development. They'll start now finishing out the townhome element of that development. That's all I have right now. I'll entertain any questions. Oh, so we have kicked off our comprehensive plan update process. This will be an update from a 2020 to a 2045. We will be bringing you late summer, start doing some information, getting some goals and objectives in front of you all as the land planning agency. We'll discuss some of that under Robin's training as your role as the land planning agency. And also just want to be really busy. We're also be getting a preliminary land development code update, charrette, to go out for an RFQ for consulting services to help us adopt the best land development code to implement the goals of the citizens of Ocoee. So.
Anybody have any questions for Mike?
Yeah, I have one, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Came to my attention today, and I'm thinking I just want to make it known, because I really don't know if we can do anything about it. But on the corner of Sawmill Boulevard, on the southwest corner of Sawmill Boulevard and Apopka Vineland Road, evidently they are going to put in a church in the county. I'm assuming they're going to have to come through Sawmill Boulevard. I'm not sure. It's really early, so I'm not sure which piece of property they're going on, but that second piece where the driveway is, the right-of-way there is only a single lane, and I'm not sure that you would have enough room if it's in that, more towards the back of that property. I'm not sure you would have enough room to get traffic coming in and out to church. So I don't know if we can take a look at that at all, or if they're going to present it, because I'm assuming they're going to have to come in off of Sawmill Boulevard. But I thought I should at least bring it up and let you all know what's happening.
Yeah, no, that's great, because we get all their notifications being adjacent to the joint planning area agreement, and we either missed that one or didn't get it, or it's not to that point yet, but we'll look into it and get that, because if they're gonna, obviously, it's right at the edge of the joint planning area. They send us stuff way far away from the joint planning area, but we get notices, we either missed it, didn't recognize the location, but we'll look into it and get a report back to you.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else?
Yep.
Please.
My apologies for being late. I mean, no disrespect. I was at the office working, and thank you for the phone call.
Anybody else? All right. We're going to call it adjourned. Thank you.